Thomas Massie is now in charge of like the backstory of the bomb, right? And so he's calling into Pat. Is it Pat Gray? What's his name? Pat of Butter, whatever. Anyways, he's calling to talk about the bombs that were found with the fucking kitchen timers on them and that kind of shit at the Capitol. And he's like, I don't know why he's holding up a Constitution like he's trying to blow it up. There's 2 bombs right next to you. Or they might be electric dildos. They could be. I mean, I don't know what you're into, and I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. But maybe they answer it. Who did it?
Speaking of January 6th, as we were a minute ago, yesterday you got confirmation that the person who discovered the DNC pipe bomb from January 6th was a plainclothes U.S. Capitol Police officer.
Because they'd already found the one at the RNC about 10 minutes before, and they had police officers walking around looking for it. I don't know why this is a fucking mystery. I don't know why they think this is a... Can anybody tell me why they think this is a gotcha?
Who is currently a Capitol Police officer.
Right. What, they didn't get fired for finding a bomb and doing their job? What the fuck is this world coming to? We've got patriots in jail, and cops are, like, doing something about... pipe bombs? What the fuck? Of course he's still got his job, asshole. He walked up and looked at a bomb and reported it. He was inside the blast zone.
Sir, why is that significant?
Well, it's significant because, the second pipe bomb...
yeah, it looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to hide her identity. Yeah, sure.
We have video of the discovery of it, and I released that video.
Yeah, we watched it. It's no big fucking deal.
It's some of the only J6 video that's actually made it out, contrary to a bunch of promises. And I worked hard.
Fucking Mike Johnson, am I right? And him and McCarthy, obviously they work for the World Economic Forum, the deep state, and the establishmentarians.
Hard to get that video out because it showed somebody with a backpack, just plain clothes, going up to Secret Service, going up to Metro Police Department, and saying, "Hey, there's a bomb over here." Well, they were eating their lunch in the cars,
right?
And they took 4 minutes to get out of their car and actually do something about it. They
didn't have to get out of their car to do something. They radioed it.
Kids walk by.
They're not. I mean, I think they should have cleared the road quicker. But whatever. Oh, thanks so much, Edward. I'm sorry. And by the way, he said, thanks for making me laugh. Edward, I apologize for making you laugh because that laughter was voided today by the Jimmy Dore comedy show. It's sad when I have the laughs that I work so hard to create be voided out by by the butt knuckle of comedy.
So my thought, my charitable interpretation of the video until yesterday
is fuck the police. And I say it with authority.
Was that...
that 911 is a joke in your town?
Okay, that's some random passerby.
Why would it be a random passerby?
And he says to the cops, there's something bright and shiny over there in the weeds. You might want to check it out. And maybe that could explain their lackadaisical approach to the bomb.
They called it in.
But I got confirmation yesterday, not only was that an undercover police officer, he told them there was a bomb over there.
Yeah.
He didn't say... there's something over there. It could be a lawn sprinkler. You might want to go see if it's leaking. He said,
right.
There's a bomb over there. And this is 15 minutes after they had responded to the other bomb that was near the RNC, but actually close.
Which, by the way, at that point, they knew it was a non-functioning bomb. It had a fucking kitchen timer on there, and it had been sitting there overnight. It was on the top of it was a kitchen timer. There are no 11-hour kitchen timers. The little windy ones that click and then go ding, and that's that. It had been sitting there all night. They knew the bomb squad had already reacted to it. They had seen it, and it was identical to the other one. The other one had not gone off. They said it was inert. They were like, we should take precautions, but it might be just like the other one.
To the Capitol Hill Club.
So then your thought process is that
excuse me, assumes facts not evidence. I do not believe there is an actual thought process. You will have to prove that to me.
They knew it was a serious problem, yet they just said...
No, they knew it was probably similar to the dud that had already been found at the RNC, and they had reason to be concerned because it could always be a dodge, but it should be approached by members of the bomb squad, and also if the bomber was in the area and was waiting for people to panic or run around and might trigger it because of that, the getting out of the whatever. Also, these particular cops might not have been their thing, and they're like, I don't know, talk to the Secret Service about it. They have stuff to do that. They're between us and that. This is their gig because we can't do anything because the fucking vice president is here. So they've got the go ahead. Go talk to them, and then if you need us to do something, we'll do something, which is exactly what fucking happened.
Sat there like it was no big deal. So I guess the allegation would be, I mean, we still don't know if it was even an operable bomb, right?
It was not.
That's what I wonder. Is that confirmed? Because I know you asked a while back.
There is no such thing as an 11-hour egg timer.
Yeah. So I asked somebody.
There is no such thing as an 11-hour egg timer. No one uses an egg timer for a crock pot. You fucking putz.
Who yesterday, who worked for the ATF on January 6th, did they inspect the? Well, he maintained that it was viable, and then I said, "But did the ATF inspect it?" He said, "No, it went to Quantico." So the FBI had possession of all that evidence. So for the ATF to maintain that it was operable. By the way, everybody.
Also, again, I'm not taking Massey's fucking word for it. The guy could have very well said it looked viable to me, but they took it to Quantico, which he's saying now means the ATF said it was viable, didn't look viable, because they didn't fucking run tests on it to see if the compound inside of it was actually explosive or not. Also, there is no such thing as an 11-hour egg timer. Say it with me, my children. Can I get an amen in the chat room? All right, thank you, Jesus.
Keeps telling me this thing was viable.
Like, oh, you mean like a fetus at the moment of conception, apparently?
But it had a 60.
Thank you. And by the way, I want to thank you, my chat room. Testify. Yes, thank you. I agree with you. These motherfuckers need Jesus. All right.
Minute kitchen timer.
Yeah, the way it was treated, though, certainly made it appear that it wasn't viable.
Correct.
How long was it sitting there?
17 hours.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. There's no such there's no such thing as a 17-hour egg timer.
Sat there with the 60-minute kitchen timer.
Maybe he meant to come back.
Right.
How many minutes are there in 17 hours, Thomas? Okay.
Did these assholes even know that they just knifed their fucking argument? Did they realize that they just walked up to their brand new car and just went piss in all the tires?
Do the math.
I mean, what you went to MIT.
So not viable. Also, look at the fucking alligator clips on this running to the end of this fucking thing. And this thing goes around and I guess makes the connection. All you'd have to do is remove the positive and you've diffused it. Like this is the weakest action movie ever. It's like red wire or blue wire. Well, there's not really a red wire or blue wire. There's a black and red, and there's two reds, but basically go to the thing. What do I do? Actually, you can remove any of them. It's not going to work because the egg timer is not even turning. You could just dial a fucking egg timer back. Maybe give yourself a little more time to think about it. How long does this egg timer go? About 17 hours. All right. I'm gonna finish my lunch.
So you
that's
probably
right,
understand that. We don't.
Right.
We didn't go to MIT.
So, Congressman Massie, by the way, you're a great follow on Twitter. If you want to know what's really happening in Washington, D.C., I encourage people to follow you there. But why?
How is this? What the fuck are you talking about? How is this what's happening? There's an argument that it's part of what happened. It's not any new information. Fucking hell.
Is and this is probably just a
Stupid observation. Stupid question.
Just a suspicion here, but I
Really? You know, so just paranoid conjecture on your part? It's nice to see you guys trying something new.
at least want to ask you, why is the timing of when they discovered that bomb so important to the timeline of January 6th?
Oh, well, it's important for several reasons. But first of all, the first bomb was found 5 minutes before the Capitol was breached. The Capitol perimeter.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
5 minutes before, and then the next bomb was found within 15 minutes of the response to the first bomb.
Incredible.
After sitting there for 17 hours.
Yep.
Now,
Let's dial that back. Run that by me again, dipshit. This is good.
and then the next bomb was found within 15 minutes before the Capitol was breached.
All right.
The first bomb was found 5 minutes before the Capitol was breached.
So at an extreme moment of heightened security concerns, everybody around was, at all these sites was suddenly put on high alert because motherfuckers were charging up the steps to the Capitol, and they might be armed, and there might be caches of weapons nearby, and this isn't far from the Capitol, and there were, we know now that there were guys who had guns in their fucking trucks. One guy actually went to get the guns and died of a heart attack in the fucking truck, which, good Lord, I don't know why they haven't made more of that, because that sounds like somebody took care of a problem on the down low. If any of them do. You want to put a fucking tinfoil hat on. The dude who went to, get the guns for the Proud Boys who never came back, that's a good one. That'd be rock solid. But I would argue that, so right after this shit starts to go down, there is more of a presence, and they bring out all the people just in case there's people going to go bomb the DNC or the RNC or any of this other shit. People who can't get in the Capitol are going to do some other shit. And so they go, hey, but everybody stand ready. There's some shit going down at the Capitol, and it might be coordinated, it might not. They look like they're going to tear up the joint, and there's some dudes in fucking body armor here, that kind of shit. Or somebody just called it in because they wanted it to look like we've got the place around it.
The Capitol perimeter.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
5 minutes before, and then the next bomb was found within 15 minutes of the response to the first bomb.
Right, because they did a walk of the perimeter. They had plainclothes guys doing a walk of the perimeter, and he found it. Because everybody that was in uniform was at the fucking Capitol.
After sitting there for 17 hours.
Yep.
Now, here's something. This comes from the J6 committee, which wasn't good for much of anything, but they claim, we dug out of their report, that the discovery of the DNC pipe bomb actually stopped reinforcements of bicycle racks. They had hundreds of bicycle racks loaded up and ready to establish another perimeter around the Capitol once the first one was breached. When they called for those bicycle racks, they couldn't get there because of the perimeter established by the second DNC, or the second bomb, the one at the DNC, which says whether there was intent or motive or not, the consequence of these pipe bombs was to make it easier to get into the Capitol.
Gee, yeah, I can see why it would be something that I blame probably the vice president. That's why she was like, she's like, I'll hang out near a possibly live bomb just to stop some fucking bike racks from getting there. Yeah, it sounds like Trump was in on it. It sounds like Marjorie Taylor Greene was, they thought they were fucking strategizing. It sounds like Dumb Tzu, the art of the art of the deal.
Big manpower.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're all basically assuming that the bomber was on the same side as the fucking people storming the Capitol steps. Yeah, it sounds very, yeah.
Plus the manpower, but also the materials couldn't get to the Capitol because of that bomb.
Gee, who was in power that day? Biden was clearly in the White House all afternoon, and the red phone was right there. It wasn't.
My suspicion is, and I'm
and you're dumb.
Fairly certain. I won't speak for you, but I would think many people believe that they were inoperable pipe bombs, that they were there for show, right? That maybe somebody planted them there with the intent of just saying that there were pipe bombs on that day. to make it look more like an insurrection?
Yeah.
Or to back up to distract the police and bomb squad and SWAT and other people by putting these things where they knew the vice president would be and at the RNC because they were anti-establishment, fucking borderline sovereign citizen maggot psychopaths.
And then that heightens the conviction rates and the convictions of the people.
Why? They didn't need the fucking bombs nearby. They didn't use that. The planning of the pipe bombs nearby was used in no one's case.
January 6th. Because otherwise there are no deadly weapons,
Right.
Guns.
Ashley Babbitt had a knife. Ashley Babbitt had a knife, and she was approaching a police officer with his gun drawn. Now I would like every Republican within the sound of my voice to go watch videos about people with knives attacking police officers and the number of police officers that have to shoot them because the ones that don't, more often than not, die of a stab to the neck. If somebody's got a knife and they're less than 8 feet away, they are in deadly range. She had a knife. Fuck you. She also had a backpack full of God knows what.
And things like that.
Right.
These were the deadliest things that existed, and they used those in the statements of the indictments of the J6ers, the fact that there were pipe bombs on that day, to kind of create this air of an insurrection.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they are still using the excuse that this is an ongoing investigation, so they can't tell you whether the pipe bombs were inoperable or not. 3 years later, you still can't tell us.
Hold on one second. How long... Real quick, I want to look something up. I gotta back up. So the the Oklahoma City bombing was in 1995. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. Real quick. Oklahoma City bombing. On the morning of April 19th, 1995, an ex-Army soldier, security guard named Timothy McVeigh parked a rented Ryder truck in front of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma City. He was about to commit mass murder. 9:02, it went off. FBI, meanwhile, quickly arrived at the scene. To find clue, the FBI was determined to find it. It didn't take long. On April 20th, the rear axle of the Ryder truck was located, which yielded a vehicle identification number that was traced to a body shop in Junction City, Kansas. Employees at the shop helped the FBI quickly put together a composite drawing of a man who rented the van. Agents showed the drawing around. Local hotel employees supplied a name, Tim McVeigh. So this was, how long? April 19th, April 20th. Quick call to bureaus thing in West Virginia led to an astonishing discovery. McVeigh was already in jail. He'd been pulled over about 80 miles north of, and again, kids, don't break the law when you're breaking the law. He'd been pulled over about 80 miles north of Oklahoma City by an observant Oklahoma State trooper who noticed a missing license plate on his yellow marquee. Had a concealed weapon, was arrested 90 minutes after the bombing. From there, the evidence began to add up. Bombing was quickly solved, but the investigation turned out to be one of the most exhaustive in FBI history. No stone was left unturned. By the time it was over, the Bureau had conducted more than 28,000 interviews, followed 43,000 investigative leads, amassed 3.5 tons of evidence, and reviewed nearly 1 billion pieces of information. In the end, the government that McVeigh hated and hoped to topple swiftly captured him and convincingly convicted both him and his co-conspirators. A bunch of, children died that day. It was a fucking, daycare center on the first floor of that. And he's a hero to these assholes. 28,000 interviews, 43,000 leads, collected more than 3 tons of evidence, 682,000 airline reservation records, reviewed 3.1 million truck rental records, searched 13.2. And this is fucking 1995 internet. Yeah, Tim McVeigh, the original maggot. He's fucking, Jim Caviezel's spirit animal. Yeah, And then he was ultimately, I want to say his trial was in what, 2001? Like it took that fucking long. And they caught him the same day. They knew who did it.
Correct.
Unreal.
And I, the assistant director in charge of the DC field office, he was over the entire investigation for 2 years. He can't answer these basic, simple questions. He wasn't even able to tell me who found the bomb, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of questions.
He's not allowed to tell you any of the facts in evidence or in the case at all. No, and so you can't read into any one detail as more important than the other. Like, he won't say this guy's name. He won't say anybody's fucking name. Just because you ask about certain parts doesn't mean he's shying away from those certain parts, and that's suspicious. He can't tell you anything, you dumb motherfucker.
Here,
because if he does, whoever did it, when they catch them, that person can argue that they had already homed in on him as a suspect before they had together. He told a political person. That political person brought it and whispered it on the fucking dumbass Blaze show or made allusions to knowing who it was, and therefore the person can't get a fair trial, and they get away with it.
Serve on the Judiciary Committee and also the Weaponization Committee. And
well, I mean, the Judiciary is a real committee. The weaponization thing, that's adorable.
We're charged with oversight of the FBI. And this is one of the most serious, if these were operable bombs, which the FBI maintains, this is one of the most serious threats to a vice president ever, because she was sitting 30 feet away from this DNC.
Ever? Don't think so.
Pipe bomb. She was at the DNC.
I mean, there were many times during the Cold War where every president and therefore their vice president were in grave danger all the time.
Yeah.
And no, a pipe bomb of that size is not going to destroy a building that you're in, where you're on the fucking third floor of a big brick building. It's not going to do it.
And
that's an anti-personnel bomb, and like, again, with a fucking kitchen timer on it.
They've taken 3 years now to do this investigation.
Hold on, let's look at this. Hold on. What do we know? Let's find out what we already know about the J6 bombs. Okay. 6 bombs. Facts. Okay. Whoops. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Capitol riot. Were placed the night before. There's one version of it. We'll put this over here. This is pipe bombs found near Capitol on Jan 6 were placed the night before. This is from 2021. This is when? January 29th. This is just a week later. 2 pipe bombs of federal employees remain. Federal increased reward for pipe bomber, blah, blah, blah. Urgency of the judicial investigation. A new wanted poster says bombs were placed between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. on January 5th, the night before the insurrection. FBI also identified the suspect's shoes as Nike Air Max Speed turf shoes in yellow, black, and gray, and included enhanced photos of them, along with photos of the devices. A reward for information was put out. There they are. Law enforcement rigged explosive powder. Let's see. Okay. According to law enforcement official, they had been rigged to egg timers filled with an explosive powder, the official said. Investigators have been scrutinizing the remains of the devices at the FBI lab in Virginia and urging the public to submit information concerned that the bomber could still be at work. Bombs were discovered within minutes of each other, just around the time that the mob of people, blah, 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 nearby rally, blah, blah, blah. Officers of the ATF, FBI, U.S. Capitol Police, and D.C. Metropolitan Police had responded to the scene at 2 offices, which were less than a quarter mile apart, just blocks south of the Capitol. The bombs were safely detonated at the scene by robots. Investigators are considering the possibility the devices were part of a plan to divert law enforcement away from the Capitol. One of the offices of the Republican National Committee was discovered by a 36-year-old on her way back from putting in a load of laundry. I just happened to look down by sheer luck. Carlin Younger told the Wisconsin State Journal, I noticed that by the recycling bin there was this tangle of wires. Still unknown why the device did not explode. Law enforcement official told CNN one theory under investigation is that the timers were set incorrectly. Another is that the batteries had been improperly connected. Photo of the person believed to have planted them taken from the surveillance. Again, the photo of this person appears to be in a gray. Okay, we've seen that stuff. Okay, now let's look at, let's see, details. Let's see, I'll look at the, go to, This is the wiki on it, on the Jan 6 thing, but all the way down to the bombs. Where is it? I wanted just the bomb part, you dork. Why would you do such a thing to me? DC Piper bomber update. They still learned, but they left clues. That's Vice, February. This was September. Here's the additional. This is what the FBI has said. FBI Washington Field Office releases video and additional information regarding the pipe bomb investigation. Cool. So here, this is September of 2021. This is the information that's been live since then. New information includes a virtual map that highlights the route the suspect walked while placing the two bombs on Tuesday, January 5th, between approximately 7:30 and 8. The new video footage released today shows the pipe bomb suspect sitting on a bench near the DNC in the area where the suspect later placed the pipe bomb. From this vantage point, a full front view of the subject can be observed. That's this footage right here. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. They go over here, they sit down in this thing, and then they on their little backpack, and they're looking around with their little mask on, and then they reach into the thing, and they act like they're on their phone, and then I guess they chuck it into the woods there. This is their direction. They came down at is the RNC bomb, the DNC bomb. So they laid the DNC bomb first, and then went into the RNC afterwards. Priorities, people, priorities. Footage of the suspect. There they are, walking down the street. Using Ring doorbell footage. This is the one a lot of people have seen, is this one right here, where they walked over and were looking at cameras, maybe, whatever the fuck, and then they went around and they keep their mask up and all that kind of stuff. Basically, that's the thing, COVID, man. One thing about it, COVID allowed a lot of nefarious motherfuckers to walk around with their face masks on. And they reach in there and take out their phone. And that's the other thing, too, is that it seems like, I don't know if they're acting like they're on the phone. It could be a dud. It could be just there and that kind of shit. And then they're looking at something. The person with the dog was interviewed. And they are. This is the footage that everybody thinks it's Marjorie Taylor Greene because of the walking gait. That kind of shit. And then this part right here. There they go. And then this guy right here. Based upon the suspect's route, DNC to the DNC to the RNC, and the manner in which the suspect carries a backpack placed in the pipe bomb, FBI believes the subject had a location in the vicinity of Folger Park from which the person was operating. Reviews of the suspect's behavior and video footage with residents Capitol neighborhood have led the FBI to believe the suspect is not from the area. Well, Georgia, she's an outsider. The FBI is extremely grateful to them for the doing. We know it's hard to report information about a friend or family member, but please turn them in because they're fucking crazy. Person who placed these bombs wore a face mask, glasses, a gray hooded sweatshirt with gloves, black and light gray Nike Air Max Speed turf shoes with a yellow logo. The suspect used a backpack to transport each of the devices together with the IDF. They're offering a $100,000 reward. These are the shoes they were wearing. This is what they look like. These are the bombs. This is the person. Now, it does not say that they were duds in this particular instance, but it doesn't fucking matter because that's not important.
Don't even have
they detonated when the bomb squad came up.
Suspect. It's just a comedy. We have to believe a comedy of errors and a bunch of astronomically improbable coincidences to believe their story. Then I think there needs to be another.
Well, I think we could solve this really quick if Marjorie Taylor Greene will just provide her whereabouts for the evening in question.
Investigate.
And a couple of people who can corroborate her story who aren't people she's fucking at RSBN.
Here, maybe not led by the FBI, and that's basically what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Is to chase down every lead that I possibly can.
Yeah, you're like Kadumbo. One more question. It's not really a question. It's a statement, and I call it a question. I'm going to say something that's completely fucking nuts, and I just want you to nod. That's it. That's the whole shit. Yes, it was Santos posing as Marjorie Taylor Greene. He is a perfect mimic. I will give him that. Also, hi chat room. Love you. Oh, your guys are covered by FBI material. Sorry. Bink. Bink. There you are. Hello. I gotta scroll down. Look at this giant chat. Whee! There you go. Yeah, Kadumbo. I like Kadumbo as for Massie. That works.